Everybody, welcome to my Week 14 NFL picks. I hope to do better than last week. Last week was an absolute train wreck. It started with my boy Jay Interception Cutler when that stupid look on his face that he always has, that he had on Thanksgiving. They took the points. They're up 14-3 against Detroit. And what do? They come crashing down. They get outscored 31-3 the rest of the game. What a joke. And I know they play against Dallas tonight. Dallas is coming off of a really tough game at Philadelphia. I hope they really bounce back. One of my best friends is a Cowboys fan, and I want to see Dallas make the playoffs. I really do. I enjoy them do well for him. I think Dallas will be able to exploit a putrid Chicago defense who can't stop anybody. They gave up 50 here in New England. They just look like a lost team. Trestman's done a terrible job this year. Awful. Joke, really, in my opinion. I think Romo will be able to exploit them. DeMarco Murray will run the football on a not good run defense. Des Bryant, etc. They'll be pissed off about losing last week, and I expect them to rebound in a tightly contested game, 24-20. Next game, I'm going to do the Broncos game, obviously, the Bronco fans that watch or other people, etc. Anyone who watches, I appreciate it. My whole 23 views last week. This week I want to get it to 50, but that's probably a miracle. But anyways, we'll try. Some people, Buffalo's getting 10.5 points. Some people say, well, it's too many points. I said, wait a second. I was talking to my dad about this. Dad, how many points can Buffalo score against Denver? 17, 14. Okay. How do you think Denver scores on them? 28, 30. Then Denver covers. Simple. C.J. Anderson, the bowling ball, who reminds me, just style-wise, he's not this guy. Not yet, and I hope he becomes him someday, one of the best of all time, which is unlikely, but I love his style. C.J. Anderson reminds me of Emmitt Smith, the way he runs like a bowling ball. Same number, etc. Emmanuel Sanders is doing well, too. Demaryius Thomas. I was worried about Manning last week. The ball floated on him quite a bit in the cold, but if they can run the football, they can help where he doesn't have to throw as much. And I would think the weather in Denver will be better than it was in KC. But even if it's not, you have to learn how to win in that. That's a playoff weather, etc. So Denver 31-17 is my pick. Next one is a tough game. Kansas City against Arizona. Another one, people say, oh, Kansas City should definitely win. I said, wait a second. Kansas City can't throw the football at all, as we told. 0 touchdown receptions from their receivers through the first 12 games. Very pathetic. Very, very pathetic. They have a great running game with Jamal Charles and good tight end and Kelsey. Good defense. Alex Smith's not bad. But guess what? Alex Smith is a game manager. I don't think he can win this game on the road against a very good Arizona defense who's going to be pissed off about losing the last couple of games. Arizona wins in a tight game, 24-17. Next game is the tough game on Sunday night. The Patriots travel to San Diego and are favored by 3.5 against the San Diego Chargers. Philip Rivers coming off a great performance where he pulled the game up against Baltimore, one of the few games I got right last week. I think, though, the Patriots win this game because, A, they need to stay ahead of everybody for the home field throughout. Remember, I'm doing what I think, not what I hope for Denver, etc. That's exclusive of this. When you pick games, you pick what you think is going to happen. You never pick with your heart because you'll lose all the time. Just remember that. Okay. And I respect the Patriots immensely. But they have not lost 2 games in a row since 2012, which is a long time ago. They still need to win to stay ahead in the AFC, stay ahead in their division, etc. I think San Diego will challenge them, but ultimately I like the Patriots to win this game because I just think they're a better team, better defense, etc. 31-27, tight game. Because I have a lot of respect for Rivers because he's gutsy. Bronco fans don't like that tough. Respect who's good. Don't hate on everybody because you know what? You look like a joke. When you act like a hater, it proves that you're a very shallow, pathetic person. Next game, Baltimore travels to Miami. Typically teams on Monday night that are on the road, like Miami, the next week usually don't win. Baltimore was that last week against San Diego. Now Baltimore travels to Miami, last 2 teams that played on Monday night. I think Baltimore will pull out a very, very close game, 24-23. Baltimore's a small underdog getting 2.5 points here. They need to win, and I just think they're a better team than Miami. All right, here's one of the stinkers of the week. Tennessee at home against the Giants, a pick 'em. Giants blew a 21-0 lead last week. Horrible to that crap Jacksonville team. That should never happen. Tennessee playing at home, 2-10. Giants 3-9. We'll see who sucks less. We'll take the home team. Tennessee 21-17. Next one, upset special. Well, for the spread at least. San Francisco goes to Oakland. Oakland is getting 7.5 points. Oakland was steamrolled by the Rams 52-0. They really showed up last week, didn't they? They could have taken players from the 1983 Raiders and they would have played better than that. What a freaking joke that was against the Rams. Awful. You don't lose 52-0 to anybody. Joke. Okay. Now they're playing at home against the crosstown rivals, basically, the 49ers, where these teams hate each other for some reason. Maybe the Raiders are just jealous how good San Francisco's been in recent years, and they've been a joke. But I think they're going to fight. They fought at home hard. They beat Kansas City a couple weeks ago. They lost to San Diego by a touchdown. San Fran's going to win 17-14. Oakland will cover, getting 7.5 points in this match. Next game, Pittsburgh travels to Cincinnati, another team that is a joke. Andy Dalton, 14-13 over crappy Tampa. What a horrible game that was. The only reason why they won is Tampa Bay had too many men on the field and Marvin Lewis threw the challenge flag and he got lucky. What a awful end of that game. Pittsburgh's getting 3.5 at Cincy. I don't trust Cincy as far as I can throw them. Pittsburgh, even though they've been inconsistent, I trust Roethlisberger way more than Andy Dalton. Pittsburgh, I think, ultimately wins this game. They have a better offense, 24-21. All right, Indianapolis goes to Cleveland. They're favored by 3.5. Cleveland went with Manziel at times last week. It's all over for the Browns now. I was rooting for them to make the playoffs, but I don't think it's going to happen. And now they're going back to Hoyer, who looks like crap through 2 or 3 interceptions. Indy goes in, I think they steamroll them 38-21. Just don't see it. I don't see them winning. Seattle travels to Philly in a really good 4 o'clock game. Seattle is a 1.5 underdog. Philadelphia steamrolled the Cowboys last week 33-10, and Seattle won 19-3 at San Francisco, both playing on Thanksgiving. I think Seattle's going to win this game because I think they're a little bit better team with their secondary, the defense, the Legion of Boom. Richard Sherman is having a phenomenal year again. He's a great cornerback. Whether you don't like the way he talks, give the credit where credit's due. Fantastic player. And Russell Wilson, class act. I see them winning. And Philly have been playing good with Mark Sanchez. I don't trust Mark Sanchez against this defense. I think he'll have a couple turnovers. Good game. Seattle 24-20. Here's another one. The Saints are favored by 9.5 over another joke team from the NFC North, the Carolina Panthers. Must be being in Carolina because I'm a Hurricanes fan and they suck. Hockey, if you don't know. The Panthers had 2 blocked punts last week against Minnesota for touchdown. How does this happen? 2 blocked punts in the same game? I don't remember that happening. I've been watching football since about 1980. Never. Never in the same game. I think the Saints, coming off a nice win at Pittsburgh, win 30-20. Carolina just stinks. All right, the last game I'm going to pick, Green Bay's favored by 11.5 over the Atlanta Falcons, tied for first at 5-7 in that wonderful NFC North. Well, basically, NFC North sucks. I like Green Bay, who beat New England last week in a very, very good game, to steamroll the Falcons. The Falcons are not a good team. They have an okay offense. My dad was saying, oh, my cousin loves Matty Ice. Yeah, Matty Ice in his throat from Matty Choke Ice. 1 playoff win in his career. Very overrated quarterback because he went to BC. Who cares? He's an okay quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's an okay quarterback. Aaron Rodgers might be one of the best of all time before he finishes. They were saying his numbers. He's got 210 touchdowns or 201 touchdowns and 54 picks. That's like Madden. That's like Xbox games. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Lifetime quarterback rating is like 106. Best in the history of the game by quite a large margin. Manning and Brady are under 100. Of course, they played in the NFL when you could actually hit the receivers in the early 2000s. Rodgers was lucky enough that he never had to face any of that. But they're going to steamroll the Falcons because the Falcons are bad. Green Bay, 38. Atlanta, 21. All right, well, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my picks are better this week. I hope everybody does well with their picks. Go Cowboys tonight. Go Broncos.